Hello and welcome to Records Rebuilds. Just earlier today I made mention that we might be able to share some C8 Z06 allocation news in the near future, and it appears that's happened just a little bit earlier than I expected over on mid-engine-corvette-forum.com earlier today. The sales numbers for calendar year, not model year, but calendar year 2021 were leaked for the top 9 dealers in the country. So as you know, because my reservation is at Ciocca, we've kind of focused on that list a lot on this channel. So let's take a look at the numbers that were leaked that I believe to be very accurate and what that would mean as far as the total number of C8 Z06s that Ciocca might see next year. First off, a huge thanks to John over at mid-engine-corvette-forum.com for this post. I wasn't expecting these numbers for about 10 more days, but somehow they've gotten a hold of them early. If you doubt any of these numbers, check back in about 10 days and they should be fully published and verified. As a Ciocca reservation holder, obviously I'm just over the moon about them having sold 1,481 C8 Corvettes in 2021 calendar year. But how many total Corvettes were sold in 2021 calendar year? Well, we can go to order tracking over at corvetteforum.com, and we can see that in calendar year 2021, a total of 35,315 Corvettes were produced at the factory. That means Ciocca was allocated 4.19% of all Corvette allocations, and that 4% number actually has been remarkably consistent over the past few years for them, so I think that's something we can continue to expect. So how does this 4.19% figure compare to the really optimistic 700 Z06s a year estimate that we were talking about in the last allocation video? Well, the most Corvettes that GM has ever produced in the modern era is 40,000 in a year. Now, 2023 is going to be a really long year because it's starting early in May, and it will probably run all the way till June next year. So that estimate is banking on 48,000 C8 Corvettes being produced in 2023 model year. If you take Ciocca's share of that, that's 2,011 C8 Corvettes. And if you take a 35% share of that, as in 35% of the cars will be Z06s, then that would be 704 Z06 allocations per year. Now, in 2016, Chevy did make 35% of their production Z06s. However, in 2015, the first year of the C7 Z06, they only hit a 25% mark. So only 25% of total production was a Z06. So yeah, I do think 700 Z06s a year is possible at Ciocca, but everything would have to go perfect, as in more perfect than it has ever gone during any year of Corvette production ever. So let's try to come up with a pessimistic estimate. Let's say that Ciocca sells exactly the same number of C8 Corvettes in 2023 as they did in the past calendar year. That would be 1,481 C8 Corvettes, and let's assume a 25% Z06 rate, which would be the same rate as the C7 Z06 launch year 2015. That would mean 370 C8 Z06 allocations in model year 2023 for Ciocca Corvette. Or, if we want to be even more pessimistic, we could take that same 1,481 total car allocation number and say only 15% of the cars next year are going to be Z06s. That would really be on the low end, but it would still mean that Ciocca was going to end up with 222 Z06 allocations. So now let's come up with a sort of real world, kind of optimistic, but we can really hope this is going to happen type of an estimate. So we already know that in 2016, Corvette built 40,689 cars. And we know that in calendar year 2021, they built 35,000 C8 Stingrays. So I think it's reasonable to hope that in 2023, they can build 40,000 cars. If they build 40,000 cars, Ciocca would be on pace to get 1,676 of those cars, We know that in the launch year of the C7, they were able to build 25% of their cars as Z06s. So if you apply that number, that would be 419 Corvette Z06s for Ciocca in model year 2023. I think that's a very reasonable estimate that we can all hope actually comes true, and you should be able to apply those same numbers and that same math to any other dealer on the list here. Okay, so there you have it. My just for fun speculative guess is that Ciocca will get around 420 C8 Z06s in 2023 model year. I hope it's more than that. I hope everybody gets everything they want. But that's my guess. If you're in the 400 to 500 range, I think you still have plenty of room to be hopeful and keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe, and we will keep you updated to all the upcoming C8 Z06 news. We're expecting some sort of an announcement from Ciocca sometime in the next 2 to 4 weeks about how many people have dropped on the list and maybe an update on people's position on the list. In about another month or so, sometime within the next month, I'd expect that we finally find out the official MSRP of the car. Just for the record, my guess is $86,995. We'll see how I do. I don't have any inside information on that. And then, 3 months from now, we might start getting the very first allocation numbers. And then maybe 5 to 6 months from now, people will actually be taking delivery of their cars, and we'll get to see videos of that. So that'll be super awesome. So plenty of exciting stuff coming up. Fun to speculate while we wait. And thanks for watching, guys.